Hello, my Snowflake sweethearts. Today I will be talking about my language goals for 2025. I just wanted to quickly make this video because it was on my mind and I fell asleep listening to one of my target languages, so I felt like it would only be right for me to speak a little bit on what I will be planning to do moving forward. I know we're already into February, but it's never too late to talk about your goals, your resolutions, whatever the case may be, right out the gate, because I don't really know how to start this. I will be focusing mainly on German this year. I really want to be fluent in German. I want it to be my second official language, and I have dabbled with other languages before. I took French all years of high school, and I was teaching myself Korean in high school as well, and I was learning Spanish when I moved to Colombia for 6 months. However, I've just always had this really strong connection with German. I just like how it sounds. I think it sounds really interesting. I think the words look really interesting. The culture is really nice. And there's just something about the German lifestyle in general that seems more aligned with who I am. I am more of like an introvert, an ambivert, I guess, but I am more introverted person. I'm a more direct person, and I'm not really trying to play into stereotypes, but also just kind of thinking back to German people that I've known personally. It just seems like more of a language that resonates with me in a way, and so I want to really focus on that because I've been interested in it since I was 15, and I just want to finally bite the bullet and take it seriously this year. So as far as resources that I'm using, because I would love to get to a B something this year. I know that that's attainable. I've just never gotten to like B2, C1 in any language that I've done. So I have been using podcasts, YouTube channels, and Sims so far. When I say YouTube channels, I'm not talking about YouTube channels that are specifically geared towards learning German. I'm literally talking about YouTubers that are just talking about their daily life. They're talking about sports, they're talking about fitness, they're talking about health and wellness, their language learning journeys, their moving journeys, their travels, things of that nature, just everyday tasks and vlogs and things like that. I want to learn how to speak very informally and very naturally and not so formal, because I know a lot of people that learn English as their second language complain about learning these really formal ways of speaking that don't really resonate in everyday conversation. They have a hard time speaking, not just slang, but speaking informally or as you would speak to a friend, because I would rather speak to people my age and a little older as friendly manner and not like I'm a boss or an associate or anything like that. So I am taking a more unconventional route, I suppose, but I'm kind of going unconventional with all of these. I've tried the conventional route. I've done formal classes and things like that in other languages, and it just doesn't stick with me. My attention span doesn't like it. It just doesn't make sense for my learning style. So I'm going to be like really gung-ho on a lot of listening, a lot of reading, a lot of translating, speaking to myself until I find people to speak with. The other resources that I'm going to be using are AirLearn. I saw that on TikTok. I don't know how beneficial it is or how legit it is, but I guess I'll find out when I start using it more. I've used it for a few lessons and I like it so far, but it's teaching me things that I already know. So I kind of wish there was a feature that allowed you to drop in on your level, you know what I mean? But I'll get there soon, so whatever. I've been using Drops for a few weeks. I used Drops for Spanish and it really helped me before I got to Colombia, so I like Drops. I just don't think that you should only be learning vocab words. I like to learn words in context, which is also why I use Closemaster. I've been using Closemaster for a few years. I like Closemaster. It just can give you very lengthy sentences. That's one thing I don't particularly like, but I will be using it for all of my languages this year. Also been using cartoons to learn German, and I will continue to do that. I'm just trying to input as much speech as I can, so I can repeat things and kind of learn context by just watching, you know, kind of like babies do. Like babies can't read subtitles. They just have to learn through listening and through context and through seeing things visually. So that's kind of how I'm doing German right now. I've been watching Winx, I've been watching Bratz, I've been watching Braceface. I've loved all of those for so long, and it just makes sense to watch things that you actually like and that you're actually interested in, because there's no point in watching things that don't interest you or bore you or they feel too childish for you to really want to watch it. It just won't inspire you to keep learning. I'm just going with the girly, fashionable things that I like because it just makes learning a lot easier. Sims has been helping, but I know that the translations for some things don't actually align, and some of the spelling can be weird sometimes. But I also like watching German YouTubers play Sims and see what they say about it and how they're talking about the characters and their storylines and things like that. Music, I've been listening to German music for a few years now, but I've listened to the songs over and over again. I haven't taken the time to look at the lyrics or translate or anything. I just like how the rap and stuff sounds, so I'm going to make a more conscious effort to actually translate and figure out what they're talking about, what I've been singing all these years. But also I've been translating songs that I like, looking up the translations for them and seeing if I can sing in pace with the English version, and translating some Neo songs. I've been translating a lot of The Lonely Island because I'm an Andy Samberg girly. It's like funny and so stupid, and I love seeing how they translate it. It can translate joking or sarcastic things very literally, but it's interesting to see how that translates over, and it just helps me remember words listening to a translated version of a song that you've known for years and years, rather than learning a new song that you don't really know and you don't know the language on top of that. Last two will be movies, which I find are kind of difficult for me to find. I do not have Netflix. I do have Hulu, but I never really use it, so maybe I should try and look on there. I've been looking on like Tubi and like other websites. It's kind of hard to find a lot of languages, to be honest, that aren't Spanish or English, but I will continue to do so, and I might even get a VPN just so I can access a little more. I have been using that DW website. I can't remember what it's called, so I'll probably put a picture of the logo or something here. I also downloaded a few books from Libby that are in German. They are from an author that I don't particularly like, so I will not name drop, but the purpose is just to get myself used to reading out loud and see how fast I can read. It's not really to absorb the contents of this author. I don't particularly resonate with her works. But moving on to the next language, I am learning Finnish as well. I started learning Finnish about half a year ago. I haven't like taken it seriously. I haven't really invested my time and energy into anything other than music. It kind of started out as a joke, like was learning Finnish to kind of mess with someone jokingly. They have Finnish heritage, so I just thought it would be cute and quirky and funny to kind of learn language from their motherland. And now I'm just kind of like, it sounds really pretty. I think that I will have an easier time learning it than maybe some of the other languages I'm interested in. I also really like the music. I've been watching a lot of videos about Finland, the different resources and companies that come from Finland, the lifestyle. They like saunas a lot, apparently. I really also want to visit Finland at some point, so I think that's a good reason for me to learn it. But I will say it's not one of my more important languages for this year, simply for the fact that I'm mainly focusing on German and another one, and I want to really spend a lot of time with those. Okay, I completely lost my train of thought, but as far as Finnish goes, all I've been doing recently is watching movies. I've been watching cartoons in Finnish, and I've also been watching a lot of YouTubers in Finnish. I have a lot of Finnish music on my Spotify. I need to start really like translating. I do take a lot of notes of translations that I find randomly throughout the internet. As far as finding a source, I've really just been using like Closmasters and Mango Languages for right now. I love Mango Languages. I've been using that for years as well. I used it with Korean many years ago. Yeah. Suomi for the win. I did say in my doing Korean after 10 years video that I would get back into Korean, so I'm going to dip my toe in lightly because I don't want to overwhelm myself. I do remember conjugation and things like that were really frustrating for me, and is ultimately kind of why I stopped learning it. I do just want to get in lightly, a little bit of Duolingo, a little bit of Drops, a little bit of Closemaster, a little bit of YouTube here and there. Obviously K-dramas and K-pop will always be in my life, but as far as really remembering how to speak and how to properly respond to questions that people are asking me, I just want to essentially get back to the level I was at in high school, because I could actually speak and I had a lot of Korean pen pals at the time. I was on Kakao Talk religiously, so I just want to kind of get back to where I was, but I don't plan on being past the B1 by the end of the year, honestly. And last but not least, the final language that I will be focusing on other than German will be Slovak. Came up on that language on accident. I was looking for Finnish videos, and in the recommended was a video that was in Slovensky. I just clicked on it. I liked how the girl's voice was sounding. It was like a vlog and she was kind of talking about fashion. Translated the title and it said it was in Slovak, and I was like, holy shit, it sounds so pretty. I just want to learn it. That's essentially what makes me start learning most of the languages that I'm interested in. It just sounds pretty to me, and then I just start looking up things about the culture, the country, how many people speak it. It's like my obsession right now, but it's so hard to find resources like already committed. Like in my head, like once I like something, I'm like so fixated on it, I can't get it out of my head. So because that first introduction was that girl speaking so sweetly, like her voice was just so nice, I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna learn it. So here we are. I've been using Clothesmaster and YouTube and Mango Languages. There's also a European Union website. It's like slovak.eu or something. I will start using that. I did make an account to start taking lessons on there. There's a podcast that I can't remember the name of either, and there are a few YouTube channels that are specifically dedicated to learning how to speak, so I will be using that as well. I don't know how easy it'll be for me to find shows or movies or reading material. I'm just gonna try my best and see how far I can get this year. I would just love to speak in full sentences, even if it's just a paragraph. If I can just say a full paragraph by the end of this year without like stumbling over my words, then I'll be happy with that. Final thoughts: 4 languages is a lot to try to learn in a year. I'm not trying to be fluent in all of them. I just want to be fluent mainly in German and Slovak. But I will say that it's just nice to have language goals because it keeps you motivated, and when you get bored or overwhelmed with one, you can go to the next one. I think one thing that held me back in years prior when I was learning French or Spanish was that I was just learning that language for that year, for those years, and I would get bored. I just wouldn't study at all. Like, I think when you're studying more than one language at a time, it can help you want to translate between both of your target languages or however many target languages you have, and it just keeps you going for the long haul instead of, okay, I don't feel like doing this language today, so I'm just not going to do it for a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and then you've gone months and months without studying anything at all. It's harder to get back into the groove of things once you've stopped for so long. So I just really hope things go well. I will be working super hard. I basically spend all my days listening to German, Finnish, and Slovak, besides like at night when I watch a movie or a show occasionally in English. We're just gonna see where I get, and obviously I will be updating on my German here and there throughout the year on this channel, but I do have a channel that is specifically for my German speaking. I only have one video as of right now, but I will be trying my best to speak German fully on that channel, so go check it out if you want to see more detailed progress on there. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Tell me down below in the comments what your language goals are for this year, and let me know if we have any target languages in common. I love you guys so much.